Hey, greetings, Sandra Ford, Little Shane, Marcus, Gowes, uh, Conway Calisthenics, 1852, Allie Bird. Good morning, everybody. We'll do some walker dips. Yo. Hey, Carrie, good morning. Good morning, Sean. Yep. All right. That's the plan. Walker dips. Anthony says, good morning, Jesse. Love your work. Write a book. Yeah, I need to, right? I don't think there's a book big enough, right? Just go on forever. Well, all right, so good morning, everybody. Start there. I am currently a bit under the weather. Yeah, I am so like down in the gutter, dragging. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that way forever, right? I'll probably feel a little better after I get into the workout. You know what I mean? I just got to get started. Hey, good morning, Mark. Good morning, the Heart Legion. Too cool. This is why do you have a walker? I'm gonna do some walker dips. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Get ready. Get your walkers. Get your walkers out. We're gonna do some walker dips. All right, here we go. Let's see, I gotta put these cards somewhere reachable. Alright. So 6 on deck's gonna be the first one. Time our duration. Go through a deck of cards. Man, I was tossing around the idea of just fasting today, you know? Just taking the day and fast. Sounds like a good idea in my mind. 6 on deck. Joker, that will be 10. Hey, good morning, Taco. Sam, Turd Cutter, Tons, Steel Chomp, $20, man. Thanks for the channel support, man. Really appreciate you taking the time to do so. Five on deck is the next one. Turd Cutter says, wonder how many I can get. Well, walker dips. Hey, if you're just starting out with the walker dips, utilize the resistance band, right? Just place it over the top and put your knee on it and do some walker dips with the band. Well, I feel so good with that resistance band. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, my grandparents are Polish. Hey, Conway Calisthenics. Posting the sucker free store. Heck yeah. Hey, if you need to get yourself one of these sucker free resistance bands, you can find them at my suckerfreestore.com. Thanks, John Conway. Appreciate you posting it. 9 on deck is the next one. Nathan says, that's what I did last night. Heck yeah. Nathan, congratulations on your over 50 subscribers now. Make sure you hit that plus button to go live, even if you're not ready to, because it takes 24 hours to allow you to do that. Hey, Turd Cutter, $5, man. Thanks for the channel supports. Yeah, buddy. I like it with the resistance band. 6 on deck is the next one. Just feels right. Adding a little bit of springiness to the mix. 10 on deck. And so it begins. The Walker dips. Yes. Yeah, these will shape you up pretty quick. I think, hey Sam, member for 1 month, says yes. Heck yeah, man. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I think the Walker dips have been one of the biggest contributors to the shape of my shoulders. You know, because I get a really good stretch when I do these. Jack, that'll be 10. Yeah, I'm just going to declare it right now. I'm just going to fast today. You know, it's been on my mind. You know, my ankle's sort of swollen. I could use a fasting to knock out the inflammation, you know? I think it's a good idea. That's what I'm going to do today. Just coffee. Coffee and water. Here we go. 10 on deck. What's up, guys? Lucy was just on the channel before tuning in. Love your content, no joke. Hey, thanks for watching. Jesse says, knock out the inflammation. What? Yeah, man. That's always my go-to. That's my sledgehammer. That's my last resort. You know, when I'm dealing with inflammation, to knock it out of my body, just a little bit of fasting. Yep. Yeah, just works. That just works. 4 is the next one. Yeah, that's always my last resort. You know, I try this and I try that, but when I get down to it, you know, and I can't take it anymore, that's when I resort to the fasting. But it works every time. I don't know why I take so long to resort to it. 2. So our fasted workout's good to do. You know what? I like to think it kind of ramps up the fast. You know, gives it a little more substance. But like today's my Thursday, so Thursday I'm only working out 1 time anyways, you know, just this morning. So I can do a fasted workout, no problem. Turd cutter, $5. Says, woo! Yeah. Heck yeah, man. It's a good pump, ain't it? Walker dips. What's up, Tycho in the house? Queen 10 on deck. How did I hurt my ankle? I don't know. I think I just tweaked an old injury, honestly. You know, I have accumulated injuries on top of injuries on top of injuries throughout my lifetime. I'm a little rough on this body. I am. Queen, that'll be 10. And things happen. Things happen. Maddie says, I'm seriously the only one bothered by the crazy eyes. You guys ever watch Roger Rabbit? Yeah, that movie scared the heck out of me. 7 on deck. That villain with the googly eyes. Boy, I love walker dips, don't you? How many of you guys are doing walker dips right now? For real. This is awesome. What are you waiting for? Jack, 10 on deck. Hey, Sam, $10. Thanks, man. Appreciate the channel support. Says, there we go. Thank you for your inspiration, Jesse. I owe it to you for keeping me motivated. Love and peace to you and your family. Thanks, man. Appreciate the channel support. Absolutely. You know, you guys, you're my, I feel like we're in this together. You know what I mean? Like, all of us. Like, we're making this happen. We're all getting fitter, being better versions of ourselves. Jack, 10 on deck. You know, we just got to keep doing it regardless of how we feel. You know, I'm tired, man. I'm sick at the moment. My ankle's kind of sprained. I'm resorting to fasting. But I tell you what, I feel better now that I worked out, took the time to start doing it. You know, I was feeling pretty miserable this morning. I do feel better now that, you know, I got moving. Yeah, I don't know what I did to tweak my ankle, but I'm utilizing methods in my recovery, you know, flossing and smashing. So I'm in the process. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the channel, get yourself a sucker-free resistance band or card holder, check out my suckerfreestore.com. And thank you to everybody who has done so thus far. You guys are awesome. 8 on deck is the next one. Hey, Dion Staley, what's up, chat? Man, I really love walker dips. I tell you what, it's all in the lower pectoral. You know, the shoulders really get hit too. The way I'm doing it anyways, you can do it without getting a pec stretch and just mainly hit your triceps. Honestly, I see that's the way most people do it. They just work the top half. Yeah. See a lot of people just working the top half. You gotta explore, take it slow. Try to get the best stretch, the best pump. 4 on deck. See, I could totally rest my body hanging off my fully stretched pecs and my, my shoulders. They're fully stretched to the point where they're holding my body off the ground, right? And I can rep it out in this rep range and achieve a pretty gnarly pump. But I do that method with everything, you know what I mean? Can't find walkers anywhere? Man, go to your local thrift store, dude. 100%. 100%. They got a whole pile of them. Yep. Just check the corner, the back corner. I know they're there. Queen, that'll be 10 on deck as well. Yeah, the Goodwill, all right? They got them there. Just keep looking. Yeah. It's a rarity. I've only went to a thrift store once where I did not see walkers. And, that was just recently too. But usually there's a pile. They just accumulate. We should do a walker giveaway. I got a few walkers, I do. I collect them, right? I love them. I want a walker in the back of my truck, so anytime I feel the need to do some walker dips, I at least got a walker with me, you know what I mean? If I go over somebody's house, I just bring the walker, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? Walker dips, right? 2 on deck. Dude, I will go skateboarding with my walker. All right, take it with me to the park. It's light enough, you can. 3 is the next one. Seven. Hey, good job. Alchemir says I did 2,400 body squats in 40 minutes because of you. Thanks for everything. Boy, that sounds like an epic pump, man. Yikes. I can't even imagine that leg pump. I can't imagine it. You're probably standing straight up too, right? Every time I do something like that, I feel like I got the best posture in the world, like immediately after, you know what I mean? Roger says, I'm a truck driver. I do all the way over. Yeah. Oh, I bent all the way over. Wait, Turd Cutter says I bend all the way over. Let's see. I'm mixing them up. Truck driver, I do dips on the doorsteps. Yeah, that's sweet. 3 on deck. Yeah, you gotta be crafty. Ten on deck is the next one. You're doing some right now. Heck yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Will we see any walkers on the Sucker Free store anytime soon? Probably not. It sounds like it would be a pretty big initial investment for me to get my hands on X amount of walkers. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a good idea. 10 on deck. What's my diet? I'm going to fast today. I'm not going to eat nothing. I'm just going to drink my coffee and mind my business. Right? Stay out of the kitchen. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. 10 on deck. Yeah, half reps work, man. I like it. The Zimmer frame. Yeah. 2 on deck. It's very convenient. If you guys go out and get yourself one today, make sure you tighten that bolt up so the wheel doesn't move. Right, you want a nice sturdy base. And these legs, they go up and down, so you can adjust it for your height just right. And if you get the wobbles, it's not the Zimmer's fault, it's your fault. Because that's your stabilization muscles, right? In the beginning, you're gonna have the wobbles. Just realize, as your stabilization increases, those wobbles will go away the more you finesse your workout. Take your time, don't get discouraged. It's a process. Let's see. Moheen says, my tricep tendon pain at the elbow prevents me from doing push-ups and dips. Any suggestions on how to recover? Oh, I don't know. I mean, every time I had that issue, I would just take a nice Epsom salt bath and put some castor oil on it. I realized that for me, it was all brought on by like poor posture, you know, slouching my shoulders forward, right? I'm making my nerves rub, right? And I'm feeling some sensation down here. And it depends on how my angle is. Like if my arms are out here, it hurts more, but if I come down here, I don't have anything, you know? So it all depends on placement, right? So you get, just change your hand placement is my suggestion. You know, don't be continuously aggravating it. And then take a bath, nice Epsom salt bath, man. I always feel better after an Epsom salt bath. Yeah. And that castor oil, when you put that on, the nice thing about it is it absorbs right through the skin, right? So it's kind of like, you know, oiling the joints. You know what I mean? When I'm feeling like my worst, I'll like take like an old pair of like a sweatsuit, right? And take like a castor pack and just like rub my whole body down with castor oil, and then I'll sleep in that at night. You know, but that's, you know, let that castor oil pack just suck up into me, absorb into me. Yeah. How often do I fast? Not often enough. Now, usually once a week is pretty awesome because the amount of inflammation that I can accumulate from my workouts, you know, they build up by Friday, Saturday, you know, it's like a lot. And then if I hit a fasting really quick, knock that inflammation out of my body. It gives me the chance to hit the coming week, hard again, fresh. That's my take on it. Ace on deck. Because there have been times when I've taken my workouts pretty hard, right? For a long period of time. And come Friday, my body would be pretty inflamed, needing a rest. And then I fast, just knocking out all that inflammation and then hitting it again. I mean, that's pretty much taking it to the limit, I'm only fasting so I can maintain excess volume of work. 10 is the next one. Yeah. Because my mindset, and well, if this part's failing, let's fix it with this. And that's pretty much everybody's mindset. That's the whole theory behind energy drinks, right? Everybody's overworked from their the daily grind, right? Everybody's just drained to begin with. So they market energy drinks, right? So you get an additional, push out of your day, I'm doing the same kind of thing, but with fasting. I'm using fasting to knock out the inflammation so I can push my body harder. It happens. I'm always trying to figure it out, right? Hey, whoever donated the $2, thank you for the channel supports. There we go, 10 on deck. I've experienced different fasting amounts of times. I used to do 3 days every week. Then I narrowed it down to 2 days. Then I narrowed it down to 1 day. I try everything, but I fast usually when I'm doing it the way I like to, I'll just fast once a weekend. And then during the week, I'll intermittently fast, I'll eat between the hours of noon and 8, right? My feeding time. And then I'll do a 24-hour on the weekend. And that usually keeps me pretty, tip top. 7 on deck, but the 2-day fast feels better. 2-day fast feels better. That was 7. Eight on deck. Yeah, I'll be 44 in January. Let's see. I'm going to the post office today. Got to send out a deck of cards to Carl. If you're out there watching, thanks for the order. All right, I'll get that in the mail this morning, first thing, after this workout. 8 on deck. Mr. Beans, got a full-time job. Says I do manual labor for 10 to 12 hours and still exercise 7 times a week, but cannot seem to put the weight on, muscle back on. I just stay in between 170, 180. Well, if more weight is your goal, you probably have to work out less. Yeah. But if you just enjoy working out, then that's probably going to be the weight you're staying at, right? If you just like to stay active, 8 on deck. But to really gain weight, you got to work out less. Let that body fully heal and recover. Yep. Eat more calories, that's always a good place to start, right? I know a lot of us say we can't gain weight, but a lot of us don't really put the time and effort in eating to be that certain weight. 7 on deck. Heck yeah. Self-control, discipline. I'm sober 8 years of opiates. Mr. Beans. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. It's a new you, right? It's definitely better than the old version, right? So I think a lot of us had that lived through the epidemic, right? We survived. Oh, not many have made it through. Huh. Let's see. It's hard to gain muscle. Well, I think to gain muscle, you need more carbs, right? I wouldn't even be worried about the protein. I'd just be like noodles and bread and rice. Be all that. Yeah, it'd be more calories than, protein, right? You could eat as much protein as you want and you're not gonna gain any extra, right? It's like protein is like zero, right? You're not gonna gain anything off eating protein. I will lose weight if all I ate was protein. I would shred up. I would just shred up and lose tons of weight if that's all I ate was protein. You know what I mean? I mean, your muscles are fueled off carbs, right? I could eat oatmeal for a week and I could gain weight 100%. This will be 10 on deck. That's the halfway point. Ace, 10 on deck. Jonathan says, what resistance band is that? That's my sucker-free resistance band. You can find it at the suckerfreestore.com. Yep, thanks for asking. Hey, what's up, D-Bird? Welcome to the chats. We're doing some walker tips. King, that will be 10. Another king, another 10. Yeah, so Jack, King, Queen, Ace, Joker, all the face cards are all 10. Easy peasy. Oh, I feel good. It's like the quicker I go, the better I feel, the better the pump is, you know what I mean? What's the cycle? So I took my vitamin D, 3, zinc, magnesium, creatine, MSM, boron, baking soda. Took that. I took all that this morning. Yeah. Thanks guys, appreciate the channel support. Bigger forearms. Yeah, boron, check it out. It's a testosterone booster. It goes with the mix. It's good together, not by itself. So, bigger forearms, really quick to answer your question. You put your hands in like this, palms down, and just do inverted rows like this, right? All right, back on track. 8 on deck. Jack, this will be 10. All right, 5 on deck. Ace, this will be 10. You know, it's winter over here in Ohio. You know, it's grind time. It's time to just like, you're locked in anyways. I mean, what else you gonna do, right? Gotta buckle down and get to it. Same in Illinois. Yeah, it's grind time. Winter. Yeah. 8 on deck. Solitude. Winner. 4 on deck. Shout out to everybody who spent some time in the Justice Center during the winter. That tall building, like on the 10th floor. It is so cold. And you can feel the building sway with the wind. It's like sleeping in a cooler. 4 on deck. Three is the next one. Next, we have at 2. Yeah, that was the first place I saw this method, the quarter rep range motion, the half rep. A lot of people call them the bunny hops, the burnouts. 5. And no, I'm not from Poland, no way. I was born here, Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, my grandparents are though, on both sides of the family. Jack, 10 on deck. Hey, Taiwan champion says I just got out of today, St. Louis County Justice Center. Well, don't go back. Stay out of trouble. It's easy to do, right? It's easy to do. 9 on deck. You know, first thing getting out, if you guys just get out, I like to say, bury yourself in work, right? Find a job. I did like factory line stuff. You know, I knew my job in my area and I just did it, right? I buried myself in work and it was a good thing, freshly being released. 9 on deck. I wasn't a very good people person when I first got out. I needed a job where I could just be isolated and just be by myself and do things. King, that's the 10. Just finished the workout. Good job. Good job. Stay moving. Yeah, my grandparents are Polish. I'm not. Right. Lucy, what's up? Says jail was enough to me. F that, right? It'll straighten you up real quick. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I got friends that keep going back. More than likely they'll go back until the day they die. You know, they come out, they go in. They go in, they come out. 6 on deck. Mr. Bean says, my grandparents were Polish as well. Both fought for U.S. in World War II. Yeah. So did my grandparents. One was a paratrooper on my dad's side of the family, and then on my mom's side of the family, he was a radio man on an aircraft. Yeah, both in World War II. I think there was a lot of Polish. World War II, fighting for the U.S. 3. At that time, some kind of mass migration, obviously. People just trying, I don't know. Like, why would somebody come from Poland, right, to a different country, and then fight for that country? Boy, what a time that was, right? What a time that was. I guess if you're going to move to a country, right, you better be with you better be ready to die for that country, I guess. If you're going to move to a country, they're going to accept you in, right? It only makes sense. There we go. Queen, that'll be 10 on deck. What you benching, dude? I don't bench really. Well, I do, but I do minute durations. Queen, that'll be 10 on deck. Another king, that will be another 10 on deck. Joker, that will also be 10 on deck. Boy, that feels good. I like it. I just wish I had some more coffee. I wish I had some more coffee, but whatever. I shouldn't be drinking so much coffee anyways. Four is the next one. Yeah, man. You know what? Coffee's expensive. Four on deck. I buy it in bulk. You know, I get a good deal on it. But it's not like I'm drinking any less. You know, I think because I buy it in bulk, I drink more of it for somehow. I'm not really saving any money there. You know, 5 is the next one. Ace, that'll be 10. Why don't I extend my arms? Because I'm trying to work my pecs. I'm not trying to work my triceps. Right. Now, if I just wanted to work my triceps, I would extend and just do the top end instead of the bottom end, right? So basically, you can take any rep range and separate it. You know, you can either do the bottom end or the top end, right? And work them independently of a compound movement, right? You can keep all the time and tension on one muscle group at a time. That's how I do it. The pump is achieved. It's sick. It's a sicker pump. It's way more intense, targeted, localized pump, opposed to momentarily being pumped and then putting the pump over here. You know what I mean? You know, you're just keeping it all where I want the change to occur. Ace, 10 on deck is the next one. Have you ever had an injury or had to stop training and lose all your gains? Oh, I've been seriously injured a few times in my life. Yeah, boy, I sure the heck have. Yeah. So the first time I was severely injured was in 2001. I got struck by a moving vehicle while wearing a backpack leaf blower, and that resulted in an LS51 spinal bulging disc, you know, crushing my sciatica. That was the first one. So that resulted in constant pain 24/7, you know, just the nerve is always on, right? It also, you know, I didn't weigh much too because they had me on so many opiates for that pain, back injury that, you know, I didn't weigh but 136 pounds. You know, I was just withered away to nothing. They had me so sedated. Well, the second injury that was pretty hardcore was, you know, I got injured in the prison system, and I hurt my leg on some workout equipment, and I couldn't walk for a year and a half. I had to teach myself how to walk again after that one. A lot of stretching, a lot of whatnots, you know. Then I got out of prison, you know, and I got into tree work. I got electrocuted by the power lines like a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, but it was about a year ago. And power lines, I got frizzle fried, you know, so, man, I tell you what, I keep having these like near-death experiences and keep bouncing back every time. It takes a while, but I mean, they're like crippling experiences, right? Like life crippling experiences, you know, because when I couldn't walk for a year and a half, I couldn't walk for a year and a half. I was on crutches for a year and a half, you know, but until I took the time and effort to get my body back in shape, Right. And, you know, I've had sprained ankles. You know, I've had all that. That's minor. I've had two sprained ankles at the same time where I was in a wheelchair. You know, and that took like 6 months or something, right? Of being in a wheelchair. You really lose all the muscle mass there too. Um, yeah, man. You know, I've been hit by branches falling out of trees, stuff like that. I mean, when we were kids, we'd play games by riding our bikes and jumping off and see who can get the biggest skid mark, right? Ah, my skid mark's better than yours. You know, we grew up different. You know, we made jumps and stuff in the woods. Ace, 10 on deck. We jumped off building tops. You know, that's the kind of fun we had growing up. We had to learn how to tuck and roll. Tuck and roll, right? Do it right. Parkour, man. Hardcore. Ace, 10 on deck. But I guess, you know, it doesn't matter how bad you get beat up, there's always a rebound, right? And every time you rebound, you're stronger than ever. And that's my experience, no matter how bad it gets. Break any bones growing up? Honestly, no. I would think a guy like me would, for real. But the max was just some serious sprains. You know. Yeah, and then I don't know if this recent snowstorm coming in, if that affected my body, just all the aches and pains as well. I don't know if that was the case or not, but you know, I've been feeling terrible recently. So that's pretty much the extent of my injuries. I think the worst one was getting hit by the power line like a year ago. That frizzle fried me pretty good. Queen, that'll be 10. Matthew got ran over by a tractor when he was 15. Had to survive multiple major surgeries. Caused me had to learn to walk again twice. Yeah. There ain't no stopping you, for real. I mean, the human body, humans are durable, man. We're durable. Queen, 10 on deck. Boy, I tell you what, you know what? It's funny because in these times of like utter darkness, like, you know, of these severe injuries, it feels like the world is over, doesn't it? It feels like, oh, how can this ever get any better, right? You can't see past that moment of the injury and beforehand, right? You can't see anything past that. That's been the common denominator every time. Every single time, I could never see past how this is going to get any better. Like when I got electrocuted by the power lines like last year, I'm like, it's over with, man. My whole left side of my body's like, you know. And then here we are today. We're talking about it like it's no big deal, right? But at the time, it was like, man, my life's over with, right? That's what it felt like. Now we're just like, oh yeah, I've been electrocuted, so what? 9 on deck. Hey, Allie Bird, or Anriel, welcome to the chat. The only thing from that is, see how sometimes this side of my face don't work, and then I got the Elvis Presley thing going on. That's the only thing that I see from the power lines. Hey Brian, what's up, man? Brian Lane in the chat. Make sure you guys check out Brian Lane. We just did an awesome collab yesterday. He says, getting ready to do a few myself. Heck yeah. Brian Lane does burpees every day, guys. If you're into burpees every day, check out Brian Lane. For real, guys. Yeah. Huge inspiration. Do I drink alcohol? No, not anymore, man. Come December will be my 2-year anniversary free from alcohol. 9 on deck is the next one. Have I had Bell's palsy? No. I got hit by the power lines. Yeah, I got a little too close. Yeah, I'm just using the walker for workouts. I pick them up at the thrift stores. They're super cheap. Every time I find a good one, it comes home with me. I collect them. Love my walkers. Oh, just like that. We're at the last card of the deck, guys. So that's our 400 reps. That was awesome. Easy peasy, right? What do you think it is? Real Deal Prime. What's up? Welcome to the chat. Says I need a walker. Allie Bird says a 9. Galwez a 6. Craig an 8. Mark a 7. John Conway. Calisthenics. Jack of Clubs. Campbell an 8. Johnny a 4. You ready? Here we go. Sandra 4 to 6. Good guess, Sandra. You got it. 6 on deck is the last one. Sucker free. And if you guys need to get yourself a sucker-free resistance band, support the channel at suckerfreestore.com. We also have these sucker-free deck of cards available. This is how we count our reps and sets. Appreciate you guys who've taken the time to support the channel. Thank you. They're pretty awesome, aren't they? I dig it. I dig it. So I'm going to get into dead hangs right now. They're half-assed dead hangs. I'm just going to, my feet are still going to be on the ground. Yep. I'm going to do it with a minute duration. That set, by the way, took us 55 minutes to complete those just over 400 reps. Now we're into the minute duration. Just stretch it out. San Diego says sucker free since 2023. Awesome. It's a process. It's a process. got to definitely sit into it nice and easy after the workout. You know, you don't want to like bump, you know, jump into it. You just want to like ease into it after the nice pump. Another minute duration, we're going to go right into it. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate you. It's the best way to start the day, for real. I look forward to it, rain or shine. You know, a cup of coffee with the crew, you know, a good workout, conversation. Every day I look forward to this. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Hey, don't be so negative on yourself, guys. You guys are too hard on yourself, for real. You guys think you can't see past the moment of negativity, right? How could things ever get any better, right? I've been there, man. It's an illusion. You gotta realize, I've been there, right? It's fake. You could have anything you want, right? It's an illusion, right? If you want to have a sucker attack, and it's all up to you, right? Imagine that you're the author and the actor and director of your own play, right? You're writing your own story. How's it going right now, huh? How's your story going, right? Give me a summary, because you're the director, you're the actor, you're the only only one that matters, right? How is your movie going? Not well. Well, listen. If your movie's not going well, guess what? Right now is a brand new moment. You have no rules that says you have to continue the way you have been. At any moment, anything is possible. You can just live better, right? You can be thankful and gratitude. You know, you don't have to put on sad music and drag yourself down because you're depressed, right? You don't have to play more sad music, right? It's a new moment right now. You can do whatever you want. Change the radio station, dude. You know what I mean? Lauren says, I bounced back from every affliction known to man. I'm a beast of a woman. I did that. Lauren over here is fierce, right? Fierce, right? She's playing the role of the eagle, right? You can play whatever role you want. It's your movie. Every moment is a brand new moment. And you decide how you're going to feel about it. Are you going to be inspired? Right? Listen. Now, what I'm about to say next is very important. We've all heard it before, but we've never really applied it. Right? We have to live by the next best thing in the moment. Right? And we have to assign by what we do, the value of that depends on the outcome, right? What is the next best thing to achieve the maximum outcome, benefit towards a better me, a better life, you know, everything, right? Is what am I doing right now the best thing that I can be doing, right? I have to be doing the very next best thing to propel my life forward towards a better me, right? If it means I got to clean up this mess in the corner, that's what I got to do. That's the top priority thing, before I can move on, right? What is the next best thing in your life that you have to do, right, to be a better you, right? Henry L says, it starts for me when I'm sick of being sick, then I fix it, right? It's true. When I'm sick of being sick, then I fix it. I'm kind of at that point right now. I'm sick of this inflammation in my ankle, so I'm just going to fast today. It's always the sledgehammer that knocks the inflammation out. I always wait to the very last minute to do it, but it always fixes it. I'm sick of being sick, so now I'm doing it. Right. Always on to the next best thing, right? What is the next best thing in our life that's going to propel us to greatness, right? What can we be doing in this moment? What is the next best thing that is going to propel our life to a better version of ourselves? Does it mean like spend the next 20 minutes flipping through shorts? Or could I spend 20 minutes and knock out 1,000 push-ups, right? 20 minutes is going to go by regardless. What are we going to do in that time? Sam says, put the Xmas tree lights up to keep the wife happy. Happy wife, happy life. That's a good motto, man. That's a good motto. Right. That'll ensure your survival. Putting up the Christmas lights. How painful was the stomach tattoo? It sucked. Especially over here, this area here and this area here. Yeah, that was very sensitive. Getting the morning sun, heck yeah, quiet the noise, look inward. Yeah, that's the real deal, right? I think if we all knew ourselves, I think that's really the goal, to know ourselves, because everything's a choice. All these bad choices, there's still a choice that's physically made. Why do we choose the poor choice, the poor value choice, the high risk poor value choice? Why is that even an option? You know what I mean? Always on to the next best thing, right? So I'm looking at life, right? Because I'm a beast when it comes to the tree work, right? I come onto the job site and I dismantle giants, right? I take giants down, and I do it with the utmost effectiveness, right? I dissect that tree with the utmost precision and effectiveness, right? I'm always doing the next best thing, the next best job on the list of things to do to achieve my task with maximum efficiency, because there's no wasted time, no wasted, job's done over here before that job's done. There's none of that. And that's how we have to look at our lives. The next best thing, the next thing on the list of things to do to achieve the end result being the best version of ourselves, right? What is the best version of ourselves? What do they look like? What do they eat? How do they work out? It's all manifesting towards that one reality that I want, because multiple realities exist. Anything's possible. I could be I could choose this and that and wind up that way. I could choose this and that and wind up this way. It all is what is the next best thing to achieve that goal, right? Man. All right, you got me on a rant. I've been talking for 1 hour and 11 minutes. So I think it's time for me to get on with the day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Thanks for being here, everybody. Nathan, John Conway, Allie Bird, Sandra Ford, El Gawez, Dean, Sam, Henriel, Mark, Nathan, Carrie. Thanks, everybody. DeLucy. Bye, guys. I'll catch you on the next one, which will be tomorrow, right? Because today's Thursday. I only work out once on Thursday, and that is this workout, right? And that works good because I'm going to fast the rest of the day, and then I'll have my workout in the morning, and that will be a fasted workout as well. I won't eat anything until tomorrow afternoon, right? Boy, how many hours? That's more than 24. But that's exactly what I want. And that's what I'm going to get. I'll catch you later. Peace.